So, good evening, everyone. On behalf of Team Managery, I'm Himanshu, and I welcome you all to this Sunday's session where we actually have collaborated with Shishu Vikas Kendra to have an interactive session on education. Now, the audience who are new to our platform, I would like to introduce you briefly about Anajury to them. So, Anajury is a non-profit platform which was initially started by Milind Datta, and Anajury aims to promote various initiatives that attempt to bring social change, sharpen leadership skills, and build entrepreneurial capabilities in Assam as well as in the entire Northeast. Now, what is this whole web series about? Through this web series, we actually want to introduce the whole network of our people to great speakers and resource persons to enable them how to be the active leaders of our leading generation. So now I would like to introduce you our today's resource person, who is Sangeeta Chaudhary. Dr. Sangeeta Chaudhary is presently working as the Chief Functionary or the Secretary of Sishu Vikas Kendra. Sishu Vikas Kendra is a non-profit organization which basically started in 1995 through its early childhood care and education program, which is also abbreviated as ECCE. And it has so far delivered its service through which it has provided comprehensive, affordable services in childcare, health, nutrition, play, and early learning within a protective and enabling environment. Dr. Sangeeta Agarwal, in terms of academic experience, she has also acquired an MSc and MPhil degree in statistics from University in Delhi. And then she later joined one of the undergraduate universities in Guwahati as the HOD. So I welcome you, Dr. Sangeeta Chaudhary, on board. Ma'am, so I would firstly like to know your journey from the head of department in statistics to the secretary of Sishu Vikas Kendra.
Yeah. Good evening and thank you all. Thank Anajury for having me. It is quite an opportunity for me to be able to share my experiences. And I would like to say that after my uh, MSc degree in Delhi University in 1992, then I joined MPhil in Delhi University itself. And in 1994 itself, I got a job offer in LCP College. It's an undergraduate college under Delhi, I think under Guwahati University.
Yeah.
And the same year, in 1995, soon after, I got married also. And so I started as the HOD of LCP College, Department of Statistics. And there I had worked, in fact, for 10 years. At the parallel track, I also started doing my PhD at that time. So PhD at the Guwahati University. So, and then I became a young mother of two daughters. And so juggling between life, family life and career became a bit too difficult for me. And I thought I should give attention more to my PhD degree. So I gave up my job then as lecturer and I concentrated in my PhD degree and of course my raising my two daughters. And after that, uh, I in 2007, in fact in 2005 I gave up my job, and in 2007, at the end of 2007, basically, I got my PhD degree. I enrolled in 2005, I suppose, or 2006, 4 as PhD candidate. So it took me about a few years to five years to finish with my PhD degree. And after that, I didn't go back to my career as a teacher, a professor, a lecturer in undergraduate thing, but I took up few, uh, you know, part-time teaching jobs in various colleges in Guwahati. And side by side, I also took up my thing, what to say, my interest in social life actually, in social work life, because from my school days, I was a member of Red Cross, and somehow I got, attracted to a few social organizations working in it. So that is one thing. And then me and my husband is a medical practitioner, radiologist, so he stays busy. So I shoulder a few of his, responsibilities as, uh, you know, looking after his finances and, finance portfolio and all, being with a background of statistics and economics. And so we had a piece of land in GS Road, and we thought we would develop it into, because there were a lot of offers coming up for real estate,
Yeah.
builders,
Mhm.
and we said, why not we do it ourselves? And that is how we tried. In fact, we are one-time builders, you could say, and we did it. We were quite successful in that, so that our, we could our finance portfolio became heavier, I would say. That was a good thing. And so then I took up, there was the Shishu Vikas Kendra. Actually, I had been association from 1995. It was
Yeah.
started by my aunt, who had been a leader at Guwahati University after retirement. Aunt and my uncle, who
Okay.
had been the retired principal of uh, Guwahati Medical College and Hospital. So they had started as a philanthropic organization, and I joined as a volunteer and not as a member.
Yeah.
Only in 1995 I joined as a volunteer, and I know how much time do I have for this thing. I can keep going. You must. How much time do I have, Himanshu, to
We
speak
have time.
about myself? I can keep going,
No,
keep
it's okay.
going,
I'll
speaking
I'll
about
I'll
myself.
continue and take up questions also.
Okay, and then uh, you know. Uh, in 2012, actually, I joined. I paid my fee and joined as a life member. And
So
then I
like,
was obviously,
so you have a
yeah,
like as per my understanding and as seeing your experience, you have a great grasp of economics and understanding of business, while you also have a great interest in social sciences. So how
yeah,
do you think we can build up sustainable organizations? Like when we are talking about NGOs and other businesses, how can we build up sustainable organizations, or what are the challenges
yeah,
which yeah,
sustainable organizations. You have to have your governance, right.
hmm,
Your governance structure has to be right. And nowadays, there are a lot of regulations also coming up. You have to have your uh, 12A, ATG, and FCRA. What I'm talking in perspective of NGO,
yeah,
okay, non-profit organization. And even that has to be, to make it sustainable, you have to invest in manpower also.
yeah,
You have to train people, infrastructure you have to, basically you have to run it like a corporate, only the name is non-profit.
hmm,
You understand? That
yeah,
is what I've understood. Your aims and objectives of may be different, will be according to your constitution, whatever your aims and objectives are. But running of an organization has to be in a, what do you call? Corporates also have their own problems.
yeah.
Not all
Like
this
I was
corporate is not the best,
reading about Shishu
but
Hello. Yeah, yeah.
yes.
So I
Can
was
you hear
reading
me?
about Shishu Vikas Kendra. So I also see,
Yes.
like I can also see that you have been like involving in certain activities where you can also economically help your people, like the employees or the manpower of
Yes.
your organization. So that is also somehow enabling you to I mean, let the organization be more sustainable while the people can also be economically strong.
Yes, exactly. So we have this, subsidiary part that was actually it was a self-help group called Matri Youth Group. That
Okay.
was way back in 1995, along with Shishu Vikas. Shishu Vikas Kendra is the parent organization.
Yeah.
Under that, we have, ECCE, we have Matri Youth Group, and we have also healthcare
Hmm.
of children. but that you can integrate it with ECCE only, because early childhood care itself is medical care also we are talking about.
Yeah.
So in that way, that uh, Matri Udyog was set up because of that, to sustain partly, not wholly,
Okay.
partly, and to empower the women members of the organization with
Hmm.
the workers, because they all have skills, which are not recognized. They are just taken for granted. Suppose
Yeah.
making the pita laru and uh, pickles and all, but
Hmm.
to what you say, to commercialize it, to gain something, you have to have a kind of place. You have to give a platform, and it began with that, with the senior members. But you need to sustain it, because you have senior members also. You know, you have to build a next life.
Yeah.
If you want, you have to leave behind something. You have to let next generation of leaders
Yes.
in your organization itself.
So
That
if we
is
drop,
important.
mhm. So if we draw back to our, like, I mean, your parent organization, Shishu Vikas Kendra. So like that started on the like on the, I mean, it revolves around the idea of early childhood care. So like how
Yes.
important do you feel like early childhood care is, like for our nation?
Oh, it is very important. Now too, it has become international education policy. It has been
Hmm.
incorporated, and I'm very happy about it, because this is what the early childhood care people for working in there were advocating, that we need it under formal education. Earlier, it was not under formal. It's still not, but
Hmm.
hopefully, it will be adopted soon. The policy has come into being in July
Yeah.
2020.
20.
It's a good sign, because it's the base of the education system. They
Hmm.
are the roots and buds. They're the basic unit of the society. And if you don't invest in them, you understand? If you don't invest in
Yeah.
them, in the children, so the return will be not good. Because there is this economic debt hackman. I should show you. I have. Can I share this link?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Hmm? This thing. I lost the page actually. It's an economic model where the earlier you invest in a child, in a person, the return
Hmm.
is more. You know,
Okay.
it's a graph, by a Nobel laureate. Okay, I'll get to it. But can I have any other questions?
Okay. So
Yes,
when we
Himanshu?
talk about, so when we talk about enabling environment, so
Yes.
ma'am, there is some background noise coming in.
Now, again?
Yeah, it's still coming.
Hello? Now?
Yeah, yeah, your voice is clear. I mean, I can hear you, but there is some background noise.
Yeah, this is something to do with my computer.
Okay. So, like, when we talk about an enabling environment, so how can we prepare our own homes for our children to enable them?
Yeah, enabling is in many ways. The one is that safety and security of the child. You know,
Yeah.
child needs to be understood. safe and secure environment. So they enabling, and then of course ours is infrastructure wise also it is enabling. Okay, our, our facility center. I must invite you all to our facility center once so that you
So,
can have a
like,
real.
ma'am, your voice is not audible.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. So, like, what kind of interventions do you people like install in your center, which helps you to enable your children better?
We have a pedigree curriculum. The curriculum takes you to different phases. 2 plus. We keep children from 6 months. Okay,
Okay.
so the caregivers are trained. Okay,
Hmm.
do's and don'ts they have, and from
Yeah.
6 months they have to set in. But 6 months it started with lullabies. You have to sing songs and all this kind of thing,
Yeah.
and they have their own play tools. Those
Yeah.
are child friendly things. And then they are storytelling is one major thing, uh,
Element.
major tool, yeah, element of the process in the curriculum.
Hmm.
And then storytelling, but storytelling also we have because we have multilingual people there.
Yeah.
We don't have only Assamese or only Hindi
Hmm.
or only. We have even Manipuri, we have even Malabha thing because Guwahati is a cosmopolitan place, yeah, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
So we have to because most of our caregivers speak in Assamese, but our uh, facilitators, the educators, the teachers, you could say, there are so many names to them. So they shift from English, Hindi, Assamese accordingly. So storytelling is with uh, theme theme learning. We call it theme learning. Those
Yeah.
are the practically making we like to. Those are the main. This is the graph I was telling you. Okay,
Okay.
can you see this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Early childhood development is smart investment.
Hmm.
This was an article I had found. It is in that I share. Have you got a copy of this book? It is a souvenir. In that
Okay.
souvenir, actually, we have detail of all our activities and
Hmm.
lot of testimonies from the parents
So,
who
can
have
you like
very
give us a quick
strong.
quick go through through this?
Yeah, this smart early childhood development is a smart investment. This source is James Hackman, Nobel laureate in economics.
Okay.
Okay, this is
Yeah.
preschool. So preschool, when early age you invest, this is the return if you are invest.
Hmm.
Okay, and
Yeah.
then from accordingly he has presented graph of this. You know, it is the economic. The greater the return, and also you must go through. We had in last year, luckily, we were able to celebrate our 25th anniversary of
Okay.
Suzuki Castle. At the nick of time, on 7th of March, there was this lecture by Vanita Paul, who is Professor Ambedkar University, Delhi, and she is a pioneer in early childhood care and education in India.
Okay.
Could not come due to the COVID thing, but her lecture was read out because it was prepared for us,
Hmm.
and she gave the permission to read out the lecture. We held it in Rabindra Bhavan, Guwahati, and the important part is this lecture was very important because
So, like as you were talking about play, so how important is play in terms of the development of a child? Like, what kind of different plays can we engage our children in so that a proper development takes place in them?
it is in the curriculum itself, the age specific, but not all child can cater to age specific. Okay,
Yeah.
it depends on how the child learns and how the child recognizes. Every
Hmm.
child is different from the other.
Yeah.
So the curriculum is the child specific, not age specific. Though we have a age specific curriculum, but
Yeah.
not always the child can. The child has different potentials, different abilities sometimes.
Yeah.
Someone is good in numeracy, someone is good in literacy. And if you can you find out early, you can find out those kinds of things in for early childhood only
Okay.
in the child. The educators, I am not into the education in hands-on education. And my background is, I'm not a trained educator in early childhood education.
Okay.
We have trained education.
Ma'am, the
Okay,
noise is
we have
like
trained.
quite high.
Use my phone then. I think I. Is this okay?
Is this okay?
Yeah.
Huh? Is this
Yeah.
okay?
This is okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
So I've used my phone, but
Okay.
the screen is this.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. So we were discussing like how play is important, what kind of different plays we can involve our children in to,
Yes. So there are a number of plays. This is according to the curriculum. If we have to go, we have to go to the detail of the programs actually.
we have a program accordingly. This is the importance and impact of early childhood care and education on the social, economic, and cultural fabric
of a nation, an Indian perspective.
of
How is it? So this is what all I already need to know. I learned in kindergarten. Share everything, play fair, don't hit people, put things back when you found them, clean up your own mess.
Ma'am,
Don't
there is
take
an
things
interference happening.
now. It's okay.
No, ma'am, like there is an interference happening. I guess it's because like the wires are near, so like due to the proximity, this might be happening.
Now.
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 Yeah, it's fine. Like have you turned off the computer's microphone?
I should not. Yeah. Maybe. Now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's great.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is what I was talking about. This is where you can get how important it is. This is by Professor Venita Kaul. She has, highlighted why it is important, CCCE, and how we are different. That I can also share.
So like that would be great if you can share, like let us know how you people are setting up a different idea with the whole concept which is being run across. Ma'am?
Is this okay?
Yeah, this is okay.
So We have a number of services: early childhood care and care service. This is the creche service, okay? The creche from 6 months onwards. And then we have early childhood health service.
Okay.
Where earlier it was done every month, and these are all free services. But now we have tie up with Apollo Hospital.
Okay.
Every year twice the children are examined, and they are not examined and screened also. Screened in the sense that if they have any difficulties, development problems and all, early screening is done. Because early screening is better, early intervention is better with the child. Some deficiency in the child regarding sight, hearing, and so forth. Okay.
Yeah.
And we have also we have certain times vocational training for the caregivers and educators from different institutions, like some colleges who have this course in early childhood care and education. Some colleges have this diploma certificate course. They don't have degree courses, but they do have. And we actually our program is like if you want to draw a parallel, it is under the Anganwadi system of the government.
Yeah. So if we see ourselves as stakeholders, so do we also hold the responsibility to know more about the the childhood care and stuff?
Of course, every person, every citizen has to be a stakeholder here. The stakeholder are the government is one stakeholder. They have to right to education. They have to provide. Parents are a stakeholder. As a society, as a community. If you want to build a community, you have to build it from the base.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if you go through these articles, you will come to know what are the benefits. It is a long thing. I have said a few benefits, but you will come to know if you read Benita Call's thing, what is the impact and the benefit, importance of early childhood care. And the socio-economic benefits also are there. And vocational training benefits, which I've already mentioned. And we have this awareness program also. Then why important? Like even today, this is a kind of awareness program for us too, isn't it?
Yeah. So when you are going across development, so when we are talking about the development, so basically all in all, we are somehow or somewhere developing the personality of these children. So how do you see that these childhood care interventions or the programs which you introduce, which can be in terms of nutrition or play or learning and other forms, so how are these going to build up the personality of the children in the future?
Of course, research, just I can offhand say, but even research tells you that their personality, their social behavior is much better. These are research organizations telling you. It's not me telling you. So the social behavior is better. They can adjust and adapt to new environment. Their learning capability in higher primary, when they are school ready, making them school ready, what we call. You make them school ready so that the learning of numeracy and literacy becomes better. Health-wise also, because there is activity, there is fun learning, so they are physically and mentally also much prepared, much holistic. It is a holistic. And since we also give importance to the nutrition, we give tiffin to the children, and it is a balanced, diet. So in that way, it is a holistic, making them school ready and also maybe society ready also.
So a little back you were talking about how it is very important to understand that every children or every kid has his own unique needs. So like there are times when we come across that, there are certain times when a child is fixated to a particular developmental stage. So what kind of interventions or things that parents need to understand, or maybe the caregiver needs to understand from their perspective, like this might be a unique need or some kind of depletion.
The need in the need of the child, or you're saying the need of thing?
Like there are times
You are
when
saying, yeah.
there are times when a child might not be like in terms of his development, he might be if we compare him across the children in his developmental stage, he might not be as developed, but he's he might be slow in the developmental stage or something like that. So what kind of thought or understanding a caregiver or a parent needs to have?
The caregivers are very understanding because they have been dealing with this for the last how many years? We have been dealing for the last 25 years, okay?
Yeah.
So we understand. So initially some children, most of the children, they come from different environment, they need time to adjust. And they ultimately, catch up or, they adjust. There are a few which need a bit of attention. And then we have these counseling sessions twice a year. Doctors do come. So if we need, we have a psychologist also coming, and the teachers actually can, to tell you, say that we do come across children with slow learners as well as with hyperactivity.
Yeah.
So these screenings, that first the educator will come to know, isn't the teacher in the class come to know. So this kind of, is the parent-teacher. So the teacher talks to the parent.
Yeah.
And these counseling are done in counseling sessions. Okay.
So
and
like, can you introduce us to with some kind of interventions which you people have been using with the children, who are like hyperactive, or maybe who don't, who are not that social, or maybe who are like not engaging enough in your learning processes? So what kind of interventions do you or your facilitators use in terms of the learning process?
We recommend to go to a professional psychologist and a doctor.
Okay. That's nice.
Okay, we take the parents, and the rest it is like whatever, we give more attention to the child and we try to integrate the child into the class, and they do get integrated because these are very young children.
Yeah.
Even the peer group, the classmates don't understand that. They play around. They are actually, most of them are hyper. The quieter ones, so you can, thing. And we have very, our teacher to child ratio is very less.
Yeah, I saw that.
In the sense that, so attention is given to the child. You can come across, we have just, in the maximum, it is 8 children, 8 to 10 children.
Okay.
So the teacher can give a lot of attention, and teachers are very caring teachers, and because they need a special training. They are all trained.
Yeah.
I cannot, I being a, college student teacher, for me to deal with them, but now I have learned, now I can do it.
Yeah.
I visit them. Initially for, because you have to talk in their language.
Yeah.
You have to come down to their, in a college, In a college, I go lecture. I think the thing is different. I have to finish the course and have to come back. That is a different kind of thing. Yes, the engagement is more with the child. So that is done. That is done, and quite a few. And there, I would say, a case when the parents came to us was saying, because the counseling sessions we do give in papers also that we are going to have a counseling. So this parent had come, this couple had come with their child. They say he hasn't learned to speak. And most of our children are from, where both the parents work.
Yeah.
Because we had the crisis, both the parents work. So they are mostly alone at home with the ayah or someone looking after them. So they don't, the talking skills don't come up.
Yeah.
They don't learn because they're more alone. So first, in that session, Dr. Gayatri Bajbura from Guwahati Medical College, she was an expert pediatrician. So she had come. She comes every year, in the counseling. They spoke to her. It was an open session. So they said, you put your son's eating habit was wrong.
Okay.
He wasn't chewing much. So his, could not develop his language, voice so much. So there are so many interconnected things.
Yeah.
And of course, the social interaction was also less. So now he speaks so well. He's interacting, playing around. And this couple, they were just calling us up. So when are you opening the creche? Because otherwise he again go back to his, previous form because of the pandemic, lockdown. But lockdown we had to close because, facility center was closed. Only in February 1st, we have again reopened. So these are the issues,
So talking about similar situations, like you have talked about this couple. So like, as we understand, it's not like if we right now we can see about the pandemic, but there are times, when a child is like, as you said, that initially the child was not talking because of the multiple reasons the couple had with the child in their home. So like there can be similar scenarios. So what kind of changes should, or things, or maybe should be the principles of our household, so that we ensure that the child development is very great, or happening very fluently?
Yeah, it's basically the child-friendly atmosphere. You must know what child-friendly atmosphere is. Like parenting is, it is one in parents at home you learn, and the other is at school.
Yeah.
So if you can't give the best thing, you have to give time to the child. Okay?
Sangeeta, the noise is so much, it's giving headache. Do you have any other way that you can do this? Can you just talk to the laptop directly?
Okay, let me see.
That is creating, that is also creating some hazy noise.
Very high speech noise.
Yeah.
I'll not use the...
Why are you using both? Why are you using just two Sangeetas?
Yeah, because I'm using the screen share.
Because of that, we are having problem.
Screen share I'll not use?
Just use one. Yeah.
Which should
Say
I
something?
close? Now?
Now it is better. No, still there is. Right? Himanshu?
Yeah. Maybe you can disconnect from your computer. Like you can disconnect from there. So maybe it might be. And you can turn on your camera on this one.
Now?
Yeah, it's great. Can you just turn on your camera?
You still have both.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not being able to disconnect. Can you remove this one?
Okay,
all right.
Rajarshi, if you can remove that.
Yeah, remove where I'm not. Can you remove this?
It's
Rajashri just clear. Yeah. Now say something.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
good.
Can hear you. Yes.
Thank God.
Yeah. Now it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were talking about the environment of the children.
Yeah. Next question. What was I talking about now?
Sound.
So identifying, the deficiencies, you would say, as per the child, and this, and what I would suggest as some years in early childhood care and education, the parent it is need-based also, you know.
Yeah.
Some parents, you know, we keep children from 6 months, okay? Because this is for working parents, working mothers, and especially for working mothers. But
Yeah.
there is no alternative to having your grandmother looking after you, a child, or
Yeah.
a mother looking after a child. We are not going to replace that. We don't want to replace that. That is the best for the child. But if that is not possible, that is not the case, then we would say we want to be there. Instead
Okay.
of putting your child under care of some untrained people at home, some ayahs or some, you know, thing. So that is our thing. And from 6 months,
Ma'am, your voice is not audible.
tell me now.
Yeah. So like as you talked about the facilitators who are, you know, well trained, and, you know, they are like completely ready for the childhood care. So how can we ensure, if we like build up an organization which is, you know, after the care of children, so how can we ensure that our facilitators are also well trained and they're trained enough to deal with the better and the proper care of the child?
No, you have to train people. Firstly, the educators have to be trained. The teachers have to be trained. Okay, you get teachers. We have Montessori trained. We call them. They come from they come from IGNO. They come from, you know, the various things. And of course, they need hands-on training also.
Yeah.
So there are very useful. But for the young children, it is like more thing. Earlier, we had, you know, in 1995 and all, we had Kongs coming. You know, the Kongs, the Khasi women are very good. They are known for childcare.
Okay. This is new.
Khasi women, they are known for, we used to call the Kongs. So now they are more scared to get. But we have ours are no less than Kongs. And we have training also, and Apollo Hospital gives training also to them. We have a training session with them, how to handle the child and how to, you know, feed the child, you know, these kinds of things, how to put first aid, suppose the child is staying. These kind of, you know, initial training is given.
Yeah.
How to handle, how to, you know, change diapers. These kind of trainings are there. How to handle if a new ayah comes. Ours are already trained for so many. There are experiences about 10 years.
Okay.
So they can give training to others. If you want to, suppose some organization wants to start, they can have training at our place and go and we do that. We give training. Because ours is a kind of a laboratory, a workshop, a laboratory for learning.
So like you have been in the field since 1995 and have been seeing as a founding volunteer, and now you have been now you are the secretary of the same organization. So what are the drastic changes in the child development have you come across? Like what are the differences that have happened, which can be, like, you know, compared with times, like, you know, by the 1995 and while we are in the 2021. So what are these huge changes which we can see in the development?
Well, the main change now I found is that they have gone into digital learning. Then there was no digitization of learning. So the main thing is that drastic, especially from last year. Otherwise, as digital learning is a bit difficult because our thing is that the parent also has to sit with the child.
Yeah. Like with times, it can be seen that, you know, they have been, you know, much into social media, so that keeps them more busy. So like as you were talking about the couple where they were not, you know, engaging enough with their own child. So this was kind of creating a similar problem. So do you see similar problems coming across due to the digitalization of the whole thing?
Yeah, but that has to be regulated, you know. It is also necessary evil, if you would like to call it. Isn't it? Digitization, you know, the child learns also from from digital medium. This time learning has happened. It is not that. So there has to kind of a regulation, you know, how to regulate. It depends on the educator and the parents also. You know, parenting is, you know, it's a long thing. You just cannot give up parenting. I'm trying to give up parenting for my daughters who are already adults, but I'm not being able to do so. For these young children, you
So like
cannot.
if our new generation parents are seeing us talking right now, so what would be the key factors or principles which you would like to introduce them to engage in with the children, so that the proper development takes place?
Or just spend time to them, tell stories to them.
Yeah.
Spend time with them, quality time. Of course, you cannot be sitting and you also watching television, the child also. Tell stories to them.
Yeah.
Tell stories to them. That is the best, You communicate. And parenting, you will learn. I'm no expert in parenting. To, tell parents how to do. But, the best thing, I think, so you have to engage your child. And the children love to listen to stories. You have to engage with them. Yeah. Even if it is short time. I know parents have to work also.
Yeah.
They cannot be full time with the children. So you have to give in a proper institution where they can spend quality time and come back home to you. Our children, like, they take back at about, say, and our children don't have to go and do homework at home.
Okay.
Because they're too young. They finish their, I have one person who said, don't give them, they don't have homework. They should not have homework. They have to finish learning in school itself, whatever written and all. But sometimes it is because they have to go and then enroll themselves in a higher class, in a class 1 or class 2, which is in different school. And even in spite of the Supreme Court judgment that there should be no admission test, schools here do take admission tests. That is the dilemma we have, because, because we should not give too much on reading and writing. We should more on learning numeracy and literacy, which is more of learning of cognitive thinking. Those are the areas that, we should give things. But they're more of, but here writing is a thing you have to put.
Like they kind of involve academic in terms of, like knowing the numbers or basically understanding how you write.
Making it able to count. Yeah, they do. They learn. They become very smart. At least I can know. And they are smart learners. Most of the children, our children are very smart learners. And they have a very good environment. We have a big playground. After they get over, the classes get over, because we have a preschool. You understand, we 6 months to 2.5 months, they are at the creche.
Yeah.
Then from 2.5 years, they go to preschool, and those parents who are working parents, they leave them in the creche only till 6 o'clock in the evening. After school, they again come back. Same place only.
So also one thing which when I was studying about your organization, one thing I realized that you people, when you are actually holding events or, meetings where you are actually trying to make the parents understand, or the caregiver of the parent, like child, maybe he can meet the guardian of the child, understand more about the child. So how important do you feel for any random parent to understand the child when they are having the newborns, or maybe the child is a preschooler? So how important is it to understand your child or the developmental stage in which the child is?
Yeah, it is very important. It is very important. The parents should keep engaging with the teacher as well as with the child. So parents, we do have parents-teachers meets, but sometimes parents are too busy. They don't have time to come to it. But sometimes we do tell. They say, oh, you have held the thing on a working day. But I said, you have to take at least 1 day leave.
Yeah.
We cannot make it on a Sunday because even our teachers won't leave. So at least on for your child, you have to take 1 day leave. You please keep your leave for your child. Save your leave for the parents teachers thing, because there you come to know what your parents need. The teacher, every class teacher will talk to the parent, isn't it?
Yeah.
The parent, of course, some are engaging, some are too engaging. Every time they want to, why this is not happening? Why are they not starting talking in English? Because most of the parents, they think they put the child in the school and then the child will start talking in English because English medium. But that is a very difficult thing for a young child, because our children are the youngest of the all, from 2.5 to 5+.
Yeah.
So their learning is, their teaching and method is different. They have to be fun learning. You cannot be firm with their learning. You have to make it fun for them. So they do have VAS and and things.
So
but
that can be a
sometimes
great takeaway from your talk, that like involving stories, and when we are getting these young children to learn, it's always better to introduce some kind of fun or make them engage into it, and that would ensure itself that that learning is happening all by itself.
Exactly. It's in the curriculum itself. The early childhood care policy also says that, and the new education policy will also have the same, I suppose. And these are all guidelines by the UNICEF as well as the Ministry of Women and Child Development, ICDS. There are guidelines for them. So we try to, our guidelines, means we follow those guidelines. It's in fact better, even the classroom strength also. But as our classrooms are much more spacious, how much thing, they are much better than, of course, the government guideline thing, government measurements. So in that way, we are fortunate to have a great space, actually, open space for the children.
So now I would like to open take questions from the audience before we cover up this whole session. So Melinda, do you have questions?
So, Sangeeta, will you share your plans to, expand, or, how would you, you're doing good work in Shishugraha, but that's only reaching a small fraction of people in Guwahati. So, what is your plan?
Yeah. Am I on video now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing myself. That's the problem. Anyway, I have to be more technologically smart. The thing is that the last 25 years, we have been doing early childhood care and education within our campus. And for that, I say, if you go through enrollment of the thing, it is about 1,500 children have enrolled for over the 25 years.
Nice.
So not much of a thing, but now they are all doing, the few of them have, we have connected them last year, because they don't remember, they do not have any memories of their early childhood care and education. Their parents have, they were too early. When we did try to reach them, they don't remember anything. It's two things. Yeah, though we have included them in the alumni thing, they hardly remember anything now. Anyway, that's one thing. Now our plan is to actually reach out through digital platform, a hybrid kind of a platform, which digital medium is here to stay now, what I have understood. The COVID crisis have actually fast forwarded the need, because there were already, we do in Assam, we already do have this crisis of disruptions due to the floods and other, things, apart from COVID. So there is disruption of classroom learning. So to continue that classroom learning, we want to go digital. We want to expand our digital presence, digital thing, and we are working on it actually. And we are trying to collaborate so that we have the content, digital content, because what I want to give you an example is the Khan Kids and the Byju's. Okay, but that is all in English or Hindi. But what I have learned in my experience, that early childhood care and education cannot happen in one language.
Okay. Yeah.
It has to happen in bilingual. And if you make it trilingual, that child becomes too confused.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. Because the child's mother language, if we take it, it is Assamese here. Learning is always best in your mother tongue, whatever learner. But the demand, the thing is that the fact is that English is a demand language, you know. The parents want their child to learn in English. That's an advantageous language you can, you know, in later on in life, because if you want to learn rocket science or any other thing, you have to do it in English. There is no other option, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they want to start English early, the parents. So parents, so they have to be learning in both the languages.
Yeah.
So we have used things, and they, in fact, our educators or teachers, they use both the language. Suppose, tumi uthi yahan sun, tumi uthi yahan, then he will understand. Sit up, stand up. He'll not understand initially.
Okay.
So they use both the languages to the child.
So how do you like how are you planning to incorporate this in the, you know, the digitalized version which you are trying to come up with?
If you go to our YouTube channel, we have a YouTube channel. There we have put up stories in both the Assamese thing, using both the language. We have tried it out. We have tried it out. Our teachers, they are very amateur, like they are not professional in it. They are facing the camera and recording it for the first time. So they are thing, but they have done a good job telling stories, trying using both the language. You understand? If you go through those stories, you'll come to know they are, and you know, and they have to be very short, the stories, because attention span of a child is not more than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Sangeeta, you have to put your camera a little bit far, your phone a little bit away so that we can see your face. Yep, this is good. So, the other question I had was because we wanted integrated stuff, like, you know, younger generation, like specifically I'll talk about, you know, we often talk about animal welfare and environment to be integrated. So when your early childhood courses, do you include anything who's include all this, you know, so that it is more holistic what we're teaching to the kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have come to know about schools in Delhi who have a kind of a, you know, zoo, they say. I don't know what, I haven't been to them. So they have a section with pets section with them in the same campus, you know, looking after pets and all, so that the children can play with them, or I would say have a, you know, thing. Because children, having pets is another way a child grows better, develops better with a pet. They said it is scientifically proven. These are his papers. There is data on it.
So, like, if I add up to the question Melinda said, so is it like, you know, you people are making them, you know, more empathize towards the animal and, you know, understand and how to care? So because this is somehow which would induce more feelings in them towards the nature. Like that would be kind of a holistic
in their
development.
curriculum they have, but I don't know how much they they don't handle it. We don't have any pets in that thing, because then there is a issue of the safety and security also. So we have to be very careful. So
like,
that,
do you kind of involve plants, or maybe like, you know, like they can
plants we
had.
World Environment Day, they go for you know, last time they were asked to, you know, bring those seeds from home, and they were asked to germinate so that they could see next day. That kind of, you know, those almost most of the children in all schools do it. And then they do water the plants, because we do have a big thing with pots and all. And and last year throwing the dry waste and wet waste, you know, segregating waste, that they have come to know, because they have a tiffin section where they have to then throw things. But they all need hand holding, because they are very young, from 2.5 to, you know, thing. So they need hand holding in all the aspects.
Mhm.
So this is one thing. Yeah, we would like to, but the thing is that with pets, we have to be careful also, you know.
Sangeeta, I was trying to show you that my cat is very interested in your talk and he was
Yeah.
listening to it. So looks
I
like
love.
I don't know what you're talking about being a health issue and all that, but I think if you there are many dogs and cats who are very friendly, I guess. So anyway, I think that could something that I think you
Yeah, there
would
is.
be able.
I would like to. There is a concept. The concept is there already in Delhi. I have heard because one of my I've known them. They said there is this concept where you have a kind of a animal zoo. They have said I don't know what zoo concept is, but still, oh yeah, I had a similar cat like that thing at my home. I love.
This is rescue from a well 100 feet deep. Day before yesterday.
I've come to.
Anyway, my point is that it will be good to have those things, the animal and the environment, also about farming a little bit. Like what food that's what I've seen in our outside. Like if young people like say pizza, so they use those vegetable parsley or whatever they use. Indian food, okay, you have coriander leaves, so small garden also they have where they have the spices, so the kids know, and then you can also have meat, maybe for like little bit older kids, maybe not for kindergarten, I do not know, but like having this kitchen garden who is talk about farming, having chicken where you have where the eggs coming from and stuff like that, and also talking about plastic, or how you segregate and stuff like that. So I was wondering, if you have
Segregating
any.
waste, they do come to know, they know, but about, the rest of the things of, because they're too young also, and for last 1 year, of course, they have been too disengaged. But they do understand a lot. It is not that they don't. Because
and what is your message to the younger?
At least more than what we used to understand as a young kid about environment. We actually naturally knew whatever. We didn't know how we had to take care of it. It was there all around us, so we thought that we didn't have to take care of it. And that is why we have reached where we have reached. There were no environmental learning in our curriculum. It was but now they do have. At least that is good. When we grew up, there was no environmental class for us.
So that's why we still go on.
Yeah, Milind, right? Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So, but because the environment was so natural for us, having an environment around us, good environment around us. Nature was so, we grew up with the nature only. But now we have to intervene.
Yeah. So thank you so much, ma'am. So before we end up or cover up the whole session, so I would just continue Milinda, and what is the message which you would want to share with the people of our culture, whatever you call them, that in terms of child development, what is your key message which you want to share with us?
You must invest in your child with time and effort and infrastructure and everything. You must. The society, all the stakeholders, including the government. I have a lot of issue with the government because government has to invest in the Anganwadi system, which is not as good as it should be. I have come to know because it is the rural. We holistically we have to see, because in the urban areas there are preschools. So they are doing, even if you don't call it early childhood, they are doing some thing. But the rural area where the intervention is needed by the government, because private sector will not go there.
Yeah.
But we want to collaborate. We are non-profit.
Thank you
now
so much.
our aim is to collaborate with the thing so that we can go and intervene and we can really give our knowledge and expertise, and we can use. I'm trying to do that because now it will come under the education ministry. Earlier it was under social welfare ministry. So it has been taken seriously. That is good. Earlier, early childhood care and education was not taken seriously as much, even if it was not like in the formal education.
Yeah.
Now it will come under right to education also. It was not under right to education.
So it has been a great insightful session where we could, understand how childhood care is important and what kind of interventions are being undertaken, and maybe there are some suggestible changes which we need to come across, or maybe we have to take them over. It can be like, and it's more or less it's our responsibility. We cannot take, just simply put it up on the shoulders of the parents, or maybe just the mother, but it's more of a common responsibility that we all share for our children. So thank you so much, ma'am, to introduce us to this internal insights of the whole situation.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Team Enajuri, for having me. It was a great experience for me to able to talk, giving me this platform, and hope to meet you all soon again. Okay, I invite all of you to my center, facility said, to have a look. So we should be out of this virtual world at times also. Okay, Himanshu.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah, Milind? I leave?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.